Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if it's your first time here, welcome. My name is Bree. I had a VSG surgery September 28th, 2020, and this is my channel to talk about my journey, my weight loss journey, and how things are going. So today I'm going to do a VSG Q&A. So on my Instagram, I have a hair there. On my Instagram, I asked people to send me their questions and I would answer them in a YouTube video. So I have a few questions here. So I'm just going to go through my list and see and answer them as best I can. So my first question is, why did I select VSG over gastric bypass, or commonly known as the RNY or Roux-en-Y? So for me personally, I decided to have VSG because I have chronic migraines, and because of chronic migraines, I need to have the ability to take NSAIDs, so non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, and with gastric bypass or the RNY surgery, you are not allowed to take NSAIDs for the rest of your life. So for me, that would have been a deal breaker because there's no way I would be able to go the rest of my life without taking Advil. I've tried Tylenol for migraines and it just does nothing for me. So I needed the ability to be able to take NSAIDs in order to get relief from migraines. So yeah, that's why. So the next question is, how long was the process? So for me specifically, I am in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. And for me, I was referred in October of 2019 by my endocrinologist. In December of 2019, I first heard from the weight loss management clinic at the hospital. I received a package from them where to do blood work and fill out a booklet full of tons of information, like how long I've been struggling with my weight, what things I've tried previously, what I normally eat in a day, what I do for activity, any pre-existing health conditions, and then like a huge panel of blood work. And then I had my first orientation with the hospital in January of 2020. I believe it was January 21st or something like that, 2020. And then I was supposed to have follow-up appointments in March and April, but because of COVID, they were put on hold for a bit. And then over the summer, everything was moved to online, like Zoom. And I ended up actually having surgery faster than most in our area, because in Ontario, the province that I live in, the standard is the RNY. So unless you have a medical reason to have the sleeve, or you go through a private out-of-pocket surgeon, then you basically are getting the RNY. So because I had a medical reason for me to have the sleeve over the RNY, I was able to have the sleeve, and with that, my surgeon said that I didn't need to be in hospital like for a lot of time after surgery. So they were able to get me into the surgical daycare unit, which meant the day that I had my meet the surgeon call, that same day his office called back and said that they could schedule my surgery for 10 days after that. So that was what happened. So my initial orientation was October, like the end of October 2019, and I had surgery September 28th, 2020, so just under a year for me, and that's actually really great considering the delays with COVID and everything, and I did not pay anything out of pocket. So yeah. Another question is, do you drink alcohol? No, I do not. I did drink alcohol previously to surgery, but during that 11-month time period where I did a lot of research on the surgery, I knew that there is a chance of transfer addiction, and you're not supposed to you're not supposed to drink alcohol for at least the first 6 months after. So I haven't had alcohol. I am close to 3 months post-op, but I have no really desire to drink alcohol. Yeah, I'm not currently drinking. I don't know if I will eventually. I might have the occasional drink at like a wedding or a friend's birthday or something like that. But no, I'm not currently drinking alcohol. And I also don't smoke cigarettes, and I don't use marijuana or any kind of recreational drugs. So another question is, does life go back to normal? And yes, for me, it's basically back to normal now. I can eat most normal foods, and I just eat smaller portions. The only thing that's like a major difference for me is not drinking while you're eating and having to wait the 30 minutes after you finish eating before you drink. That is the only thing that is different for me. So I've only been to a restaurant once, mostly because of COVID. But yeah, I've only been to a restaurant once since surgery. And I just ordered a water and didn't drink it. I had a couple sips before my food came, but yeah, that everything else is back to normal for me. So another question is, why did I have weight loss surgery? So it's a great question. Some people think that weight loss surgery is the easy way out, but for me, in my opinion, it is not. It is a tool, just like many other tools that are out there, which I've tried. I've done Weight Watchers previously. I've done counting my calories on MyFitnessPal. I've been doing that for the last 7 years consistently. I've tried seeing a personal trainer. I've tried going to a dietitian. Like, I've tried everything. I've tried pretty much every diet, except for keto. I knew that keto would never be sustainable for me in the long run, but yeah, I've tried pretty much every diet. I've done Weight Watchers. I've seen a dietitian and a personal trainer. I've always been pretty active, and just none of it worked for me. I could lose like 15 to 20 pounds and then I'd get stuck and I wouldn't be able to lose anymore. And that's really frustrating when you have been doing that for years and years and years. So yeah, I just got to the point where I felt like I had tried everything, and nothing was working. And so I spoke to my endocrinologist about that, because I have since I was 12, so for 16 years, I've dealt with thyroid issues. And when they were first diagnosed, for about a year prior to that, I started gaining weight really rapidly, with no real reason why. I was still really active, and I mean, I was 12 years old, but all of a sudden in a year I gained a lot of weight out of nowhere. So that was really hard, because at 12, like, you don't know. All of a sudden you just know that you're bigger than your friends, but you don't know why. You're doing all the same things as your friends. You're eating the same food. You're playing the same sports. Like, it doesn't really make sense. So, yeah, I just have never been able to get that weight back off. And then as you get up and get older, that weight just starts to accumulate. And as you have more thyroid issues and you go for a few months in between appointments and your thyroid is off, you continue to gain weight. And I also have hormonal imbalances. I have borderline PCOS, and I have premature ovarian failure. So at 21 years old, I was diagnosed with premature ovarian failure, which means that I went into menopause at a really young age, and I have a very low chance of getting pregnant on my own. So when I found that out, I was referred to a fertility clinic to kind of go over my options at that time. And they told me point blank, and at that time I weighed 220 pounds. So I was like not that heavy, in comparison to what, I basically weighed what I weigh now. And the doctor there told me that they would not do any type of fertility treatment on me until I lost weight, which is really depressing. And especially when you're 21 and you just found out that you may not be able to have kids, that's depressing enough. But then to be told that they won't help you unless you lose weight is like just adding more. Sorry, I'm getting emotional, but it was just a lot to deal with at 21 years old. So, yeah, I did end up gaining weight, again and again and again, and then I lose some, and then I gain some, and then I lose some, and then I gain some. So, I just talked to my endocrinologist and I told her, you know, basically my struggles. And so she was like, well, I'll send you a referral to the weight management clinic and see, like, you don't have to do it, but think about it. Go to the information session and learn about it and see if it's right for you. And they have 2 programs. They have a medical program and a surgical program. So I ended up going with the surgical program just because I felt for me that would give me the most success long term. The medical program is where you do the Optifast shakes for 12 weeks, medically supervised, and you go in to see the doctor once every week. But there's a lot of people who have gone through that program that end up having surgery anyways, because that's like a short-term thing, but to me that doesn't really, I don't know, how do you get long-term success from doing shakes for 12 weeks? So for me, the surgical was the one that made sense. So yeah, I mean, just for my overall health in general, I want to be healthy. I want to be able to try and have kids. I have a better chance of getting pregnant on my own if I am at a healthy weight. If I'm not able to get pregnant on my own, then I have a better chance of being able to go to the fertility doctors and get some help if I'm at a healthy weight. And I have a better chance of living a longer, healthier life if I'm at a healthy weight. And I've always liked being active, and I play soccer, and I have played volleyball, and I go to the gym, and I have Peloton, and I do spin classes, and I want to be able to do those things and feel better doing them. I'd love to be able to run a 5K. I've never been able to run a 5K because my endurance sucks. And part of that is not because I'm fat, but part of it was because I was like obese. So yeah, that is a long story of why I got weight loss surgery. It was not like a easy decision. It was not like something I just did impulsively. I thought about it for 11 months, and at any point I could have just decided that I didn't want to do it anymore, but for me, I just decided that long term that is the best option for me. And I have a couple questions left. So what was the hardest part? The hardest part was probably the day of surgery and like the first couple days after. The liquid diet pre-op is hard. I'm not gonna lie, that is hard, but you eventually get into a rhythm and then it's not that bad. And yeah, I would say the day of surgery was hard just because of COVID. I wasn't allowed to have anyone there with me. So my parents dropped me off at the door but that was it. So that is hard in the fact that while you're waiting for surgery for a couple hours, you have no one there with you. And it's hard to not think about like all the stuff that could go wrong. So that was hard. And then waking up, sorry, I'm getting emotional, but yeah, waking up and not having anyone there. Luckily I was only there for like a total of 24 hours, so it wasn't that bad, but waking up and being in pain and not having anyone there, except for strangers, was hard too. But I did have a really, really good nurse on the day shift. She was there until like 7 p.m. and she was great. So that was really helpful. And yeah, the first couple days when you get home, that was hard for me. I was just in quite a bit of pain. I think it was mostly the gas pain, but I had a hard time laying in bed. Like I can't sleep on my back, and it was really hard to try and get comfortable on my sides. So yeah, I had a hard time getting comfortable, and then like all I wanted to do was sleep, but I needed to get my protein shakes in. So I was like forcing myself to get protein shakes in, and I don't know, that was what I had the hardest part with. Once I got out to like a week out post-op, everything's been pretty good. So I would just say like that first week from the date of surgery until about a week post-op was the hardest part for me, but I think that's different for everyone. And what do I eat is the last question I have. And what do I eat? I eat pretty much all normal foods. So I eat pretty much all meats. The only meat that I've had an issue with so far has been turkey. I might try that again sometime in the next few weeks, but turkey is so far the only meat that I've had issue with. So I eat pork, I eat beef, I eat chicken, I eat shrimp, tuna, pretty much all kinds of fish, shellfish, like anything. I eat nuts, so I have cashews and almonds and sometimes peanuts on a regular basis, as well as nut butters. I eat some fruits and vegetables. I eat some starches. My clinic, they do not restrict carbs. I actually had my 3-month follow-up with my dietitian recently, and she said that my goal for carbs is 130 grams of carbs a day, which I'm not even close to hitting, but I do eat carbs on a regular basis. So I have whole wheat toast. I have some different kinds of like whole wheat pasta, or the like light pasta, so they're lower carbs, but yeah, they don't want me to restrict carbs to like a low carb point. So I have had the odd half of a whole wheat bagel. I eat cheese strings, cheese, Greek yogurt. I have protein shakes. I usually have 1 protein shake a day. Or I have a high protein chocolate milk like Fairlife, or here in Canada we also have another brand called Joya by Nielsen. They're both the high protein, low sugar milk and chocolate milk, so I'll have that. Whole wheat crackers. I don't know, like anything. I eat pretty much anything. I try to avoid junk food. I do occasionally have treats. I have had like the occasional slice of pizza. I usually end up eating like half a slice to a slice, but mostly just the toppings and not really much crust. I mean pretty much all normal food. I just avoid junk food. And for drinks, I drink Gatorade Zero is one of my favorites, as well as Nestea Zero Sugar. That's one of my favorites. And water. And that is it. So yeah, I mean, life does return to normal, and I eat basically normal foods. So that is it for the Q&A at this point, but definitely feel free to send me questions and I can do another one. If you guys like this video, please be sure to comment, like, and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. I would love to see you guys back here. And I will be uploading videos at least once a week talking about my journey. Usually Mondays will be my week-to-week updates. And I'm going to try and get another video up at some point throughout those weeks. But anyways, that's it for me today. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Merry Christmas, everyone. Bye.